All right, let's talk about cloud security, but with a really cool twist. Today, we're going to build something, a simple AI agent that basically acts as your very own 24/7 security analyst. We'll get into the nuts and bolts, and I'll show you the blueprint for how it all works so you can start thinking about protecting your own stuff.
But before we dive in, let me ask you something, and be honest. It's a question that probably keeps a lot of us in tech up at night. How sure are you, like right now, that all your data in the cloud is totally locked down and secure?
Because, in the cloud, that's really all it takes, right? A single misconfiguration. One little checkbox you forgot to tick, one policy that's just a bit too open, and bam, your most sensitive data could be out there for the whole world to see. And the thing is, these environments are changing constantly. Trying to check everything by hand, it's not going to happen. It's a recipe for disaster.
And that right there, that leads us to what I'd call a massive blind spot in cloud security. It's this area where so many companies, even ones with really expensive tools, are just surprisingly vulnerable.
Yeah, and if you look at the data, the core problem is crystal clear. In these crazy, fast-moving cloud environments, the biggest threat often isn't some super genius hacker in a dark room. Nope, it's a simple misconfiguration. And that, over and over again, is what leads to these huge data breaches we hear about.
So what do we do about it? How can we possibly keep up with this constant risk? Well, this is where it gets fun. It's time to meet your new best friend, your AI analyst. This is an automated agent we're going to build that acts as your tireless virtual security expert.
Okay, so what is an AI security agent really? At its heart, it's just a script, right? It's a piece of code that connects to your cloud account, looks at how everything is set up, but here's the magic trick. Instead of relying on a bunch of old-school, rigid rules, it takes all that configuration data and sends it over to a large language model, an LLM, to get a way smarter, deeper analysis.
Okay, time to get our hands dirty. Let's pull back the curtain and see exactly how one of these agents is put together. We're going to walk through the code step by step to see what makes this AI analyst tick.
The whole workflow is actually super straightforward. You can break it down into 4 simple steps. Step 1, connect to AWS. Step 2, scan the resources. In this case, we'll look at S3 buckets. Step 3, send that info to the AI for analysis. And 4, get back a simple, easy-to-read report. That's it.
So step 1 is all about getting in the door. The agent uses this standard Python library, you've probably heard of it, Boto3, to connect to AWS. This is key. Boto3 is basically the agent's eyes and hands inside your cloud. It's what lets it see all your resources and check their settings.
Now for step 2, the scan. This part is super focused. The code doesn't just look at all your S3 buckets. No, for every single bucket, it goes in and checks one very specific thing, the public access settings. It's zeroing in on that one critical configuration that could expose your data to the whole world.
And here we go, step 3. This is the game changer. Instead of trying to write a million if this then that rules, which is just a nightmare to maintain, we do something way, way smarter. We just grab all that raw data from the scan, bundle it up, and hand it over to the AI. This is the agent's brain, and we're letting it do the heavy lifting.
But wait, how does the AI know what we want it to do? Well, that's where the prompt comes in. And a prompt, in this world, is so much more than just a question. Think of it like a job description. We're giving the AI a very specific role to play and a very clear task to complete.
And get this, the prompt we use literally starts with the sentence, "You are a highly experienced and meticulous cloud security analyst." See? We're not asking it a question, we're giving it an identity. We're telling it, hey, for the next few seconds, you are an expert. Now look at this data through that lens.
And this really highlights the huge difference between the old way and the new way. The old way? Rigid, brittle rules that break all the time and are a total nightmare to update. The new way? We use a flexible LLM that can actually understand context. It can see the nuances in the data and give us a much smarter analysis, all without us having to constantly rewrite the code.
So the agent did its scan. The AI did its thinking. What's the result? What do we actually get at the end of all this? Let's take a look at the final report it generates.
The first thing you see is this, a single number, a security score. And for this run, it's a 3 out of 10. Oof. That tells you immediately, with zero ambiguity, that you have a high-risk problem that you need to fix. Now.
And let's look at the details from that report. Notice what it's doing here.
It's not just some vague alarm bell. It gives you a clear summary. It pinpoints the exact buckets that are at risk by name. And this is the most important part. It gives you a direct, actionable recommendation on how to fix it. This isn't just another alert to add to the pile. It's the beginning of a solution.
Okay, but let's zoom out for a second. This is way bigger than just checking a few S3 buckets, right? What we've built here, this simple little agent, it's actually a blueprint. It's a model for a whole new way to think about security automation.
The really key takeaway here is this simple pattern: scan, analyze, and report. That's it. That's the blueprint. And it's totally reusable. You can take this exact same logic and point it at almost any other service in your cloud environment.
So where do you go from here? Well, the sky's the limit. You can just point this pattern at other critical stuff. How about your IAM policies? Let's find user roles that have way more permissions than they need. Or what about your security group rules? Let's hunt down network ports that are wide open to the internet. You see, the possibilities here are absolutely huge.
And that really brings us to the final big idea. We've just walked through how this works for cloud security, but honestly, that's just scratching the surface. This powerful blueprint, scan, analyze, report, can be used for so many other things. So the real question I want to leave you with is this: what other complex, boring, time-consuming tasks in your world are just waiting to be automated by an AI agent?